Also, I realized that the Good Job Pooping cup was still on the screen. I guess just as a little bit of an emotional boost in these trying times, that we all just need to know we're doing a good job pooping. Hello, everybody! Birds, bird fam, bird-adjacent creatures, dinosaurs, dragons, you all count. This Namazu that I found. Lolly ho, and hello. We are back for Final Fantasy XIV Patch 5.5. A lot of us have been waiting. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The absolute quiet wasteland that has been Final Fantasy XIV the past, I don't know, month or so, as people have kind of conserved their energy, as they've been starting to get hyped for X-Pack stuff, as we've gotten some of the announcements, live letters, and we are now looking at FanFest 2021, which is going to be digital, but hopefully have a lot more information about Endwalker, our upcoming expansion. So it's been a little quiet in-game, but I hope that you're still finding things to do. I'm very happy to have you with us in the Roost today, and we're going to be doing a playthrough of the new content, which I know is going to get a lot of people back running, and having a great time, especially as, you know, we have this patch that's just very innocently called Death Unto Dawn, which may or may not kill our hearts and make us cry. I don't know. I have no idea if they're gonna off one of our good characters. We can't lose Graha, we just got him, we love him. But I mean, hey, anybody else I feel like is fair game. Just please not by Alice. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just looking forward to it. For anybody who might be like, where exactly are we in the patch cycle? We just left off with all of the towers that are popping up around Eorzea. We have Bahamut, the reimagining for the 500th time. We've got Lunar Bahamut, which some part of me feels like I should be tired of Bahamut at this point. We've done so many things surrounding Bahamut, and yet every time that dragon appears, I sit there like, okay, Bahamut time again. I have chills. So we're gonna see if Lunar Bahamut lives up to the legacy, and presumably see what all else is gonna lead us into our next expansion, Endwalker. Have a great playthrough yourself. We're gonna do the whole thing here on YouTube, so you can watch it here, or for those of you who may not know, I also stream live over on Twitch, twitch.tv Bird of Chess. You can usually find me live there 3 days a week with podcasts on Saturday. Aetheryte Radio Podcast with Gamer Escape is an awesome thing that I get to do, and I love talking with everybody, and we'll be covering this patch. We will be talking about all of our feelings. We've been doing pre-patch reviews and discussions and all sorts of stuff too, so if you haven't tuned in yet to Aetheryte Radio, be sure to, and if you haven't hung out with us live on twitch.tv Bird of Chess, I'd love to see you. Thank you so much to everybody who has liked, followed, subscribed, who has joined us here or has come over. It's really been great to get to know all of you. It's been so fun to get rolling with YouTube, and we have a lot of other things ahead and in store, but for now, let's do our playthrough of patch 5.5. Grab yourself some Grahatia sandwiches, hop on your lunar whale with all your friends, and me. I hope I'm there. I hope I'm there, or this is gonna be a really boring playthrough. Me and all your friends, and let's get into it. So, when the idol that you look up to walks into the joint looking as though their name is, I don't know, Edeldarkthorn McKnighton Stormscar, that's kind of the vibe and energy that I have going right now. And standing next to these two children, I feel a little bit extra. So I'm gonna go ahead and we are gonna hide the helm. And that's pretty much it, but otherwise we're rocking this look because you know what, Dark Knights don't get to have all the fun. White Mage magic is here to stay. So, I guess let's do this. The next quest is Unto the Breach, which makes me a little bit nervous because Death Unto Dawn is the breach where death happens. Hopefully not. We couldn't have them die so soon, right? It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna try not to be completely consumed by this thought. Here we go. In the face of this new draconic threat, we would indeed benefit from Estinian's presence. Yes, we would! Give me that tomato man! DJ, I know I said I was gonna try not to talk as much between things now, but here's my life, and we all knew it was a lie from the start. I need that tomato-clad, tomato sauce-covered, dirty, stinky boy in my life, who's like the mature, dirty, stinky version of Alphino. Alphino did get a shower, at least in Yulmore, so we got a few things going for us in that regard. But I'm so excited to see Estinian again. I hope that he's all about love and dragons now. I hope that he took a shower at some point. I'm pretty sure he did. We did see him, doing some real good, real sweaty push-ups in some official artwork that came out. So, you know, thank you for that, Square Enix. But hopefully he's learned a few things, grown, comes back. He was already beautiful. He's a flawless Elezen man, so can't really complain too much. Yet I cannot help but wonder how Kryl and Tataru intend to locate him. They certainly seemed confident, however. It's as though they have him on speed dial, much to his chagrin. And all the times he's tried to block their link pearl number. Alice is waiting patiently for the return of certain scions, not least of all you. Good news, Valka. Thancred and Urianger have finished their tour of Garlemald, and are on their way back here even as we speak. As we still haven't heard anything on the towers from the Alliance, I'm hoping they might be able to shed some light on things. They're due to arrive any moment now, so let's see what they have to say, eh? I love you, you're perfect, you can do no wrong. I can't wait until you get your glow up. Alphinaud's gonna be, I don't know, saging it up in the corner, but Alice has to have her growth too. She's had a lot of growth, but we can get more. Oh. Oh, well, it's just Thancred. Hey. I thought you were Tomato Man. Ah, a welcoming party. You needn't have gone to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more than busy enough as it is. I don't remember if I gave him, like, shown an American accent in the past, or a little bit of fantasy British, so we're gonna kind of smush them around together like some sort of PB&J voice conglomerate, and then see where we land today. Each patch we get a little different. This is what happens when you're not a professional, keeping you on your toes. Honestly, you might have waited for me to return before discovering a cure for tempering. As it is, I can't even pretend to have been involved. Well, if it's any consolation, I myself was little more than a spectator. The lion's share of the credit must go to Alice, Graha, and Valka, but I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered what little assistance we could. As you will also have heard, though, it hasn't all been tales of triumph. Just as we were taking a step towards finally addressing the primal threat, a pile of fresh problems landed in our lap. Anyway, it's good to have you back. Though I can't help noticing that we're one Urianger short of a scouting party. Did they kill him off before he even made it here? Boy didn't even have a chance to return to the not currently waking sands. He didn't even have a chance to come back. He just off-screen dead? Oh, Urianger, they did you dirty. I'm kidding. I think he's probably off doing something important. Or scheming. Or DMing a campaign in his spare time, which he's got that strong DM energy. I believe it, I headcanon it. You haven't lost him, have you? Oh, I couldn't lose him if I tried. And I did try, repeatedly. But no, he decided to linger in Ala Mhigo to apprise Rauban and the others of how the land lies in Garlemald. Thancred, you know you love him. Don't even with me. You know that you two basically are co-dads of Reen, so I don't want to hear it. Just admit your love. Let's do it. Then mayhap you would do the same for us. Indeed. It was just as Lee said. Worse, in fact. Devastation as far as the eye could see. Nerva and the third, however, were notable by their absence. Might they have met their end at the hands of Xenos and Fandaniel? Perhaps. Or perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. I don't think it's that one. You see, the capital has been plunged into deathly silence, with one exception. The Imperial Palace. It was a busy place before the war, but it has grown busier still, with throngs of soldiers and civilians working there day and night to rebuild, or rather, transform it. Transform it? Into what? That is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Urianger, certain aspects of its design were clearly devised with the manipulation of aether in mind. Magitech, in other words. Yet, as unnerving as the entire edifice was, it was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working with nary a word exchanged between them. No one overseeing construction, no one barking orders. It was as if they were possessed, or tempered. We wanted to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions, it seemed wiser not to take the risk. If Van Daniel could bind Bahamut to his will, might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Whatever the truth may be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You have our thanks. Well, be sure to save some for Urianger. Which reminds me, I have a message from Ala Mhigo. Gralban is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings on the towers, and he requested our presence. Then why not leave that to us? You must be weary from your mission. No, I'm fine. As towers have been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back, and I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. In that case, I shall stay and begin looking into another matter, as I promised Kryl. We need not all attend. Very well. I suggest the rest of us make our way to Ala Mhigo forthwith. The sooner we leave, the more time we will have to speak with Urianger before the meeting. Company action, the heat of battle is now active. What? They worked that into the MSQ? Are free companies gonna be a new major feature of the next expansion? Are we getting like a PvP free company versus free company? No, I'm kidding. We just need our boons. We need our buffs. Okay, there it is. Next up. DJ, this is me actively trying to keep myself from talking a whole bunch in between these. Is there anybody else to talk back to? Oh, hold on. I'm not gonna talk back to Y'shtola because she would crush me beneath the boot of her heel and I would thank her for it. But I am going to talk to her. If you are curious to know what I will be doing in your absence, let us speak of it another time. At present, Kryl and I have no more than a hypothesis. About what? The towers? Can I go talk to Kryl? Hey Kryl, what's up? Quick question. Y'shtola wouldn't tell me what was going on. Will you tell me? If she's even in here, she might not be. She might be hanging out doing important things, studying stuff, I guess. Alright. I do wonder though if they're gonna ever open up more of the Rising Stones, because I wasn't expecting them to even give us this room. So to have like even more of it, or to see it kind of become more of a base or get expanded upon. I mean, they did a little bit previously with Mordona and having a lot of different things there where if you were kind of in the game at the time that this was all happening, kind of like Domin Enclave, there was a sort of rebuilding effort that happened for Mordona. And I mean, we could get some more. We could get some more in here. We've already had a little bit of extension of quests with some of the things with the Domin refugees and things that came through here. So, I mean, yeah, maybe in the next expansion we'll get some more in Mordona. If we're not too busy elsewhere, which is, I mean, let's be real. We've got a lot of places still to explore here on the source, so. Is there a human here? Urianger, everybody wants to be a part of your D&D campaign. They all heard the good news. It's as big as Crit Roll now. My friends, much and more have I heard of your travails in our absence. Heartened am I to see you all hale and whole. As we are to see you safely returned from your mission, Urianger. I trust Thancred made you feel welcome? Yes, he gave me a very good back massage. Because we love each other. Sorry, this maybe I'm self-inserting a little bit. I'm just saying, make it happen, Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know who this is, so I'm just gonna, Lise? I'm gonna guess it's Lise? Well, if it isn't Alfino and his merry band. Nope, definitely not Lise. He just has a new peppy outlook on life, Arenvald does. He's starting to sound more like Lise by the day. Arenvald, whatever are you doing here? When we spoke via Link Pearl, you told me you'd be away on a mission. I had to be here to get killed in the main story. I'm kidding. I don't know. Arenvald seems like a likely one to go, though. If I'm placing bets here, my money, my gil, is on Arenvald kicking the bucket. That's my guess. And who's to say this isn't part of it? But enough about that. It's good to see you looking so similar. I thought you'd have grown a bit taller after a whole year in Other World, but apparently not. Well, I am sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older, my body has hardly aged, as you are well aware. And may I remind you that we Ellison are known to be late bloomers, especially in terms of our height. Oh, mark my words, the day will come when even a great Oryx such as yourself will crane your neck to meet my eye. I want them to grow up so bad. I want them to really surprise us with one of these X-Pack drops. It's like, and now they are adults. I've been living for this for ages now. Thankfully, as a Viera, my lifespan should allow me to see them grow old, whereas most of our other human companions will be super denso by then. So, you know, one thing, I might not get hair or hats, but at least I'll live forever. And still not be able to have hair or hats. Continuing on. That's cute though, look at them being friends and stuff. Aye, 'twas not until my 20th summer that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions, though Moonbreeder towered over me nonetheless. Arenvald brings out the best in Alphino, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease in each other's company. It's almost endearing. I almost ship them if he wasn't a teenager. So, what exactly brings you here? Oh, Fedora mostly. We need to go over a few things before we set out. Set out? Wait, does this have something to do with the towers? What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. You've got a meeting to go to. I'll see you afterwards, alright? Arenvald, you get an indeterminate accent, just to shake it up. Just do some fun stuff. If Fordola is going with him, that must mean... My apologies. As Arenvald rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let us be about it. So Arenvald's gonna die. I really hope they don't kill Fordola, though. The thing is that we have these two great, complex female characters from the end of Stormblood, right? Tsukiyomi, aka Tsuyu, and Fordola, and we already lost Tsukiyomi.
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Reuniting. There's no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
She's so good. But yeah, I hope they don't kill Fordola. I hope she gets a chance to actually, like, be a visible character that grows and stays alive. Because funnily enough, you can't grow as a person if you're dead.
Full glad are we to have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
Doesn't get a whole lot worse than that.
Theatrix. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Teleforoid's disposal.
Rapon. I mean, he definitely has ulterior motives, and we don't exactly know what he's planning, but I feel like you don't summon that amount of power without some kind of intention to use it. In some way. And with him building this device that seems to be able to manipulate Aether, where the capital is, and what we've seen already with the preview, and how the capital kind of looks like a crater. I don't think he's just gonna wave it around to show it off.
But since then we have seen no sign of this Fan Daniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy.
I mean, yes, that would be
It was
good.
with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
How did that go?
Our advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us.
Okay, so the cutscene at the end of the last patch that we saw those scouts, like, approaching.
Luckily, I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
Okay, so they were able to free them, though. So it does
Are you
work
saying
like
they were
tempering.
Tempered?
I mean, yeah, let's say we've pretty much guessed that at this point.
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar. And that was the last thing they remembered. But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked.
Is this our dungeon? Are we gonna be, like, following their footsteps and their footsteps to get to the tower?
Glory be to Garlemald.
Yeah.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
I guess to some extent, right? But at the same time, we know that, like, primal summoning, right, and primal motivation does seem to be driven by some kind of compelling force, right? So, and again, I'm not foremost authority in ethereal research, but it is one of those things where, you know, primals tend to have some kind of driving summoning that has to be, like, a driving motive to their summoning that has to be fervently believed in by the people trying to do it. Whether that's, like, protection, whether that's vengeance, whether that is, you know, any number of things. We see all the different primals embody these different kind of spirits, right? And then when we go back to thinking about, even for anybody who's done the Binding Coil raids, Phoenix, and that's actually something that's kind of, I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, gonna be important as we maybe get into some more of the backstory with the twins, or we get to see their parents, or maybe we go to Charlian in the next expansion. I don't know. But we do know that with their grandfather, with Louisoix, right? He used the power of prayer. So having all of these people to, like, go to these different, you know, shrines and locations to the 12 in this, you know, calamity to pray, and then to give him power, which then essentially allowed him to kind of coalesce that energy, from my understanding, into this version of Phoenix that he was then able to manifest. So, while we haven't seen tempering used as a form of brainwashing by, like, mortal people, it does kind of, I mean, it makes sense, right? Garlemald has basically, throughout their institution, just created this fervent belief, this nationalism, this loyalty, this superiority. They believe that their race is, you know, the superior race, that they're the one who should be sort of in control of everything, even though they weren't magically gifted. So that belief could coalesce into some kind of force that could be a driving motivator to a primal. I mean, I just think it anyway, right? But Lunar Bahamut specifically, it is interesting. With our boy Xenos, who no longer has that thick booty now that he has a different jacket, so he will always be lesser in my eyes. But before, when he was still double C thick, he did manage to merge himself into Shinryu, which then would beg the question, or, like, if we're looking at the ancients, welcome to my TED Talk, everybody. Or if we're looking at the ancients, right? Their ability to almost channel guardian forces, or which we've kind of seen, or we don't know exactly what all that sort of Hades, for an example. We don't know what all those sort of forms encompassed. You know, was the will of the original person always lost, a la the summoning of Zodiark and the fact that Elidibus was his heart, and he got consumed by it, right? Or through some kind of power, or the power of the ancients, or the echo, or whatever, like other component, or the artificial echo, is it possible to actually control a primal, and then through that, control the effect of tempering and the motivation by exerting your own will upon them? Yeah? I mean, my guess would be that yeah. If you could channel that power, your will would become the driving force that would use whatever the primal was doing and then enslave people. But that's just my ramble talk. I'm sure, hopefully, we'll get some more information at some point.
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is
Hey,
more.
Baymarik.
Following the earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses.
Ooh.
And we now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers.
Maybe that's where those lunar primal versions that we saw are coming into play in the trailer.
Our scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania.
Huh.
The Temple Knights were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
It's just not getting any better, huh? I did see something interesting that people were pointing out, that a lot of the towers do appear to be in places that seem to coincide with previous primal summonings, like Odin and I mean, it would follow, and also Ifrit and all of these other ones. It would follow suit with what we've seen even from the trailer itself. So maybe by like gathering these forces, somehow they are like repurposing the belief of those creatures to create these lunar versions, which is interesting. Because you'd think that they would have almost taken the people, not like the beast tribes or the tribes, but the people in those regions who were living in fear of those primals to like summon a fearful version. But maybe the tribes that weren't actually tempered or didn't do the summoning originally, they still believe in those deities and or have had some kind of connection to them in the past, but they themselves, you know, were thrown into turmoil and chaos because of their own brethren and people who turned against them or, you know, made this division to summon them. So I guess it works too.
So the Empire is the common thread.
I mean, isn't Garlemald the source of all stinkiness in the world? Sorry.
With the support of Xenos, it seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Telophoroi.
Or just tempered them all.
Lord Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma. The plan had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first.
I mean, yeah, we can't just let them sit there. But how do we deal with them? That's the next question. I guess those who are immune to tempering.
Given the nature of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task. But I am confident in my choice.
But that would also be why Fordola and our other boy are going to be maybe going to the towers, right? Because they both, Arenvald and Fordola has the artificial echo, but Arenvald has a genuine echo. So they would probably be the ones that would go with us, which then also makes me wonder, everybody, we're all guessing that Estinian would be our new trust. Did they announce that specifically? I'm trying to remember. A lot of us were thinking that, but it would be interesting if maybe we get surprised with Arenvald or Fordola. Kind of hope Fordola, because again, I'd love to see her get explored more. There they are! I was just talking about you both. Don't look so surprised, Alphino. You're smart. You can put this together.
Resistant to primal influence as they are, they can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
And Fordola has intimate knowledge of the Garlean Empire.
Use, Commander.
She looked cranky about it, though. Also, can we just comment on the highlight squad? Like, these two went to the same hair salon. They got those highlights done so right. And now they're coming back as a dynamic duo.
Gifted or not, going behind enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
Oh, I'm worried about them both.
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
Maybe that body that we saw Alphino crouched over was him. It looked like they were in Garlean armor, but... No!
That concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and join your escort.
They are setting this up to personally hurt Alphino.
Are you certain about this, Arenvald?
And then he's gonna function as our, like, emotional connection so that we're sad inside.
I am. Come on, let's talk outside.
You got some splaining to do. Well, between Arenvald and Fordola, I guess kill Arenvald. Take him, I guess. We were talking on Aetheryte Radio recently. Zenidra did not even remember that Arenvald existed. I don't know how many of you even remembered his character. Please feel free to leave comments or discuss. I remember him. I don't remember him being a super compelling character, that's for sure. But, I mean, from the struggle and stuff that we had alongside Minago and stuff like that in Stormblood, he was there. He did play a role. We had, you know, some of our diverting little storyline things that you could do, or like which task you would pursue first. And I remember him later on, you know, playing a bit of a role. They've kept him around for sure, right? And the reveal about his echo and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he's not been necessarily, I think, a really big character or a character that's in the forefront here. So I'm a little bit worried about how they're going to make me love him before they kill him, if that's what's happening. Like, if we have another kind of Elidibus situation on our hands right now. Because I did not much care for him either, and now look at us. Look at the entire 5.3 playthrough that I did here on YouTube. Then you'll see how much that would hurt me. So, I guess I'm ready to be dead inside. Hey girl, how's it going? Missed you. If it's small talk you're after, look elsewhere. Fordola, I just want to love you and be friends with you. Oh, now that it's out in the open, I don't have to keep it under my proverbial hat anymore. I'm just like, don't hurt this little boy. Look into his eyes.
I've already gone through all the formalities at the Rising Stones. Made sure to inform Jamoldva and Vamar at Ralga's Reach as well.
He's a responsible good boy.
Arenvald, I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan. With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
Oh my god, they're doing it. They're doing it! They're setting him up as a good boy, right? And he's gonna be a good influence on Stinky Fordola in the corner. We got a lot of stinkiness happening. That's my term of affection that I use to describe general people who need a little bit of an attitude change. Now, earlier when I did refer to Garlemald as the source of all stinkiness, that was more that they are like imperialist mass murderers. So I guess the spectrum is a bit wider. The context is key. But I feel like Arenvald is being set up to be this like shining beacon, and Fordola, who's already on her journey, is gonna watch him die and then have like a, you know, want to carry on and do better and all this kind of stuff. And become, you know, a part of this thing that she herself struggled against for so long with, like, the actual identity of being Ala Mhigo, and, you know, she was trying to find acceptance and prestige and security within Garlemald after they invaded. I just love her because I think she's a really cool, really realistic character in a lot of ways. Like, it's just, I think she has a lot of depth, so hopefully they go the route of this and not the route of killing her, but Arenvald just seems too good, too pure right now. He got a target on his back, painted as clearly as his face paint.
And you, Fudola? Is this what you want?
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
Oh, Fudola, come on. Just accept us already.
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Aldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you didn't.
Yeah, that's right. You're a good person deep down. Yeah, that's right.
So the Empire's finished, is it? But that's what they're all saying. That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat.
Well, it's done
And
something.
now, from out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head.
She's just scared. She was like a child under an oppressive regime. She's lived in fear her whole life. That's where that toughness comes from.
fought for Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald.
Oh.
What was I a part of? I need to know. Whatever it is, I need to know.
Oh, she's so good though. Oh, come on.
Very well. If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
But I will cry a lot when you die. His hand is so tiny! Oh my gosh! He has like little tiny Lalafell
To finish with your touching display of camaraderie, I have a question. Which tower are you planning to investigate exactly?
The one that's probably like right outside.
The one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded. It's patrol after patrol.
Oh.
We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it.
Maybe not.
Which is
Duty
why we set our
instincts?
sights on the one in Pagelthan instead.
Oh, okay, no, yeah, it is this one.
There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
Okay, Pagelthan, the dungeon. Which I guess, right, like, the nearest one would have been here in Girabania, but I was thinking desert on desert on desert. Going to the other one in a nearby-ish desert also makes sense.
Even so, I doubt the local Amalja will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their territory.
Well, they already don't look kindly on it. And I go through there all the time and mow those suckers
to
down.
learn the lie of the land in our previous forays there. We might still find trouble, but at least we won't lose our way.
Not the good ones, let me clarify. The good Amalja that are our friends. They are our friends and we love them. The other ones that attack you on sight, though. Let's just say I remember the days when I was a weebab in Final Fantasy XIV, and going in there was always a huge hassle anytime you had to attune for the next quest. And you're going, there's so many mobs there, and if too many of them get pulled, I'm gonna die. And now I go in there and I hit one ability and I go, oh, well, I guess there went all of them, huh? Oh, sorry, buddies. Whoops. What? I hit it on accident and I didn't even mean to kill you, but here we are, bathing in your blood. So, hopefully the dungeon isn't that easy. I'm sure it won't be. It's our new expert. Always I hit my desk because I get too excited.
Well, we'd best not keep them waiting any longer.
Mayhap when all of this is over, we could take another trip to Loxeld. I would have you know I've become a rather capable swimmer since our last visit.
He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Anytime, in any media, in any game, when some character's like, after this really dangerous mission, you and I will do this thing we really enjoy. And that's so fun and like a wonderful thing that the two of us will share. That's when, as they walk away, you're just like, See you never. That's... Bye. I'll see you in 20 minutes when my heart gets ripped out and you die, and then we never go to that lake. But bye. It's like, come on, guys. Come on.
I'll believe that when I see it. Though, to be fair, getting into deep water does seem to be a scion's lot in life. Take care, eh?
Bye forever.
It means a lot, you know. You coming with me.
I'll still owe you for saving my skin, don't I? Can't return the favor if I'm not there.
I'll just be over
you'll
here.
Get your chance before long. That Fandaniel sounds like a tricky customer. Too much for the likes of me, anyway.
I'll just be over here shaking my head for the next 10 minutes.
But we both know I'd just be another soldier if it weren't for my gift. And I need to be a damn sight more than that given what's coming.
Oh.
I realize I can't hold a candle to a hero like the Warrior of Light or Alphinaud for that matter. He might look like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people see in a lifetime.
He looks like a literal child and is one, but he's killed people.
No, the fact is I'm nothing like them, and maybe I never will be. But I'll be damned if I don't try. They're counting on me. On us. So let's give it our all.
That's the face of a good boy. That's the face of somebody who is pure of heart and strong of soul. And very, very dead soon. They just had, I feel like they gave his face more pixels or something. No, God, don't zoom in! Oh, don't you make me zoom in on those good boy eyes. They got me in even closer so I could see all the added pixels that make him look
for conviction. That much is certain.
Better and make me sadder.
Him and Fordola both. While they see to the towers, I would attend to another task. Chasing down this lunar Bahamut.
I gotta stop my head from shaking.
Bloody thing. Can you hear me? It's Tataru.
Her little voice, I missed
I'm happy
it.
to say we've managed to find Estinian.
Hey, I missed you so much. How's that tomato boy?
And I'm sorry to say he went running off again the moment we told him about Bahamut.
Estinian's like the fat chocobo mount. If you dangle a cake, aka a threatening dragon in front of him, he cannot contain himself.
But he did mutter something about heading to Ishgard, so if you're quick, you might still be able to catch him.
He's got to stop by real fast to attend to the fete that's happening currently.
Even if we set out this instant, he may already have left by the time we arrive. Have her send the Bonanza to Ishgard. It may prove useful should we need to give chase.
Should we need to chase after it? I like this vibe. You know, the one friend that you have to constantly...
I'll see to it as soon as Kryl and I get back to the Rising Stones. Good luck.
You have to constantly hound at all times to do something, to hang out, to make plans.
While you go off on your dragoon hunt, Urianger and I will return to headquarters. We have much to tell the others.
I wish you every success in your search for our elusive friend. May we all meet again ere long.
Okay, bye everybody. A less ominous goodbye than with Arenvald. I don't think any of you are gonna die. Don't surprise me. I'm very excited for this reunited moment with Estinian, though. I really hope he has his little dragon friend with him. I'm just so ready to have him officially come into the fold, right? He's kind of been out there, this extraneous force for so long. I'm ready for him just to officially commit to this relationship. And to the Scions. And to this good thing we have going. Just come and get in here. But also, though, those last cutscenes did destroy me on the Arenvald feels. I just, maybe they're doing a big misdirect. That's very possible. It's very possible. But it doesn't feel like that. It feels like they are just very obviously being like, better brace yourself. His death is soon. So, Estinian was bound for Ishgard. Whatever it is that brings him home, we must hope it will keep him there long enough for us to find him. Come, there is no time to lose. At least, if Estinian comes back, then Alphino will have, you know, another person, friend, figure that he kind of looks up to, he has camaraderie and vibe with, if and when Arenvald dies. I mean, I think the real, like, if they killed Estinian, that would blow my mind. I don't think that's gonna happen. He definitely feels like he has a larger, you know, place within the overall narrative, and there are figurines of him, so I don't think they're gonna kill him, but maybe. There are figurines of Horshavant too, so... I feel like it's time. On one hand, I'm like, I feel bad talking about who's gonna die all the time, but at the same time, it feels like it's time. It feels like it's time for them to, as we get into this last portion, really up the stakes in some kind of way. So I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, theoretically, with this. I guess we'll just see. I mean, so far, pretty chill start. I really love that we're seeing Fordola. I really love that we're getting some more of her. I love both of their accents as well. It's such a random note, but in a world of fantasy British accents, I like the kind of flair that they've given to some of our Ala Mhigans. I think that's really neat. So yeah, I guess let's see where the rest of this continues. And I'm gonna go ahead as well and turn off my system sounds because I gotta tell during that. I got a fun little whisper during the cutscene, so